Hello and welcome back to the GorillaBiker, and today is a quick video because I have been horrendously busy and have not gotten a chance to make the videos I wanted to make this week. However, the reason I am saying this right at the start is this is important. I'll be making lots of videos this weekend and hopefully getting the Valkyrie honestly out for a spin. A couple of things I want to know immediately. This is why you're here at this part of the video. What do you want me to cover on videos? Because my videos haven't been doing great views wise, so anything that people just don't want to see, I'm not going to make videos on because it's way quicker to do without them. So a very quick run through on what we have here. I'm going to be doing fork rebuild, so at some point, these ones won't be this weekend, but still let me know, do you want to see forks for the Valkyrie being rebuilt? I will also be doing wheel bearings, again, probably not this weekend, so those ones are safe. I will be doing a petcock rebuild because that's necessary. I have all the stuff required for the petcock, so seals and also the new strainer brake lines. So on the parts Valkyrie, I have a brand new rebuilt brake master cylinder and clutch master cylinder. There's videos on the Valkyrie playlist for those if you want to see them, but I'll be hooking them up to this bike with the new brakes that I've rebuilt. Also videos on the channel for that, and bleeding everything. So if you want to see that, let me know in the comments, please. And there's the new seal for the clutch slave cylinder. I'll also be doing clutch slave cylinder rebuild. I have seals for that somewhere. They're in one of these boxes. I don't remember which one, but they're in one of these boxes here. So if you want to see the clutch slave cylinder being rebuilt, also let me know. I've already changed spark plugs, and spark plugs are really easy on this bike, and honestly these old ones didn't look that terrible, but anyway, there's new ones in there. This is, by the way, this is what's left of the old strainer. I don't know, can you see that? I'll do a close-up, but it's ugly. Other thing I will be doing this weekend is the thermostat. So we're doing a coolant bleed and a new thermostat with new thermostat gaskets. This is the clutch slave cylinder rebuild kit. And I'll also be rebuilding the rear brake caliper and rear brake master cylinder, all stuff from Brake Crafters as well. So just a quick run through as well. The brake stuff and the clutch slave cylinder stuff is from Brake Crafters. Highly recommend that company. They're great. I also have new rear brake pads, leak-proof fork seals for the forks, and then Honda OEM. I have a Honda OEM thermostat, Honda OEM thermostat bolts, because those ones are kind of corroded, and a seal and stuff. But yeah, let me know what you want to see. So just a quick run through what we're not doing this weekend. But let me know if you want me to do these videos. Fork seals and wheel bearings. What we are doing this weekend: brakes, rear brake rebuild, brake lines, bleeding of brakes, clutch slave cylinder probably, clutch line, and petcock rebuild. So if you want to see any of those, please do let me know, because that's important. For now, let's actually take apart the petcock, because why not, and have a look at what we're dealing with. Oh, and the brake lines are HEL, of course, and then I have some all ball stuff in there, but honestly I'm trying to go away from all balls, not because I've ever had a bad experience with them, but I just think there's better quality stuff out there. And honestly, I like to try find things that aren't made in China as well, like Japanese bearings. And that's another thing I'll do, is I'll actually measure. I will measure the bearings when we're fitting them to the wheels, in case you want to go and just order like SKF bearings or something yourself. Bearings are really easy to size. Actually, we'll do that as well in this video. We'll do that as well towards the end. Okay, so what we have here, let me just make sure my microphone is still working. That does. Okay, so what we have here is two petcocks. This was the one that came on the Purple Flames tank, which looks original, and this is the one that came on the black tank, which also looks original. Both of these are fine. The only thing I have noticed is this one is actually broken here. I don't know how that happened. It might still be functional, but if I can, I'd rather change over the good parts from each. Now, honestly, this one looks pretty bloody good, so it's just dirty. So what we're going to do is start with this one, split it apart, and see what we find. So to take off this faceplate here, there's just two screws, which are actually they open very, very easily. That's nice. The only thing to be careful of whenever you remove, take anything off a petcock, for instance, is there's usually a spring somewhere, so just be careful with that. Oh, that is why we rebuild these. That is not, that is disgusting. Okay, so I don't know how well you can see this, but just to give you, oh, that stinks as well. That is absolutely rancid. Look at that in there. It's just sludge. It's just sludge and rust, which honestly, look, that is what I was expecting. I'm gonna put on some gloves. The nice thing about these is it's very rare that they're like unsavable. Like I don't think this one is not recoverable. It probably just needs a couple of minutes, or maybe slightly longer than that, in the ultrasonic bath, which is why I have the ultrasonic bath, you know, because you get to save a lot of parts like this. The only thing you have to be careful of is there is a little ball bearing, little check ball bearing that's in there, so don't lose that. And other than that, I mean, this actually doesn't look terrible. So let's keep taking it apart, see what else we find. So behind this plate, this is a diaphragm or a vacuum activated petcock, I should say, vacuum activated. That's what that little port here is, that one right there. Right, so with these, the diaphragm is critical, right? Because if that fails, then it defaults to closed. Sometimes it can default to open, which is also bad because you can flood your cylinders, and then which happens with you know, Valkyries and other bikes, and then you get a you know, a locked up cylinder from fuel flowing in to your carb, overpowering your carb's needle, and that's then what you end up with. So actually this diaphragm doesn't look in terrible condition, but we do have a rebuild for that anyway. So I'll do a close-up of this when it's going back together. Take off that vacuum plate. So the diaphragm fits onto the vacuum plate, and there's the backing, and then there's the spring, so you don't lose any of those. And then there is also an O-ring in here. We'll take that out. And actually, I mean, this should clean up pretty good in the ultrasonic bath. I'm actually not concerned about that. This should clean up really nice. And this is the nice thing about older pieces of equipment like this is, you know, they're not overly complicated. Okay, so while we're here, I'll just check what we actually get with the all balls kit. And this all balls kit is 60-1301. Okay, so it looks like we get a full new diaphragm, which is good. You get a sticker. You get the little O-ring, which I'm not sure where that goes actually, but maybe in there with the spring. You get a new spring, and you get a new assortment of bolts. So that was what I was wondering, because I just want to show you. That's not... I mean, it's not bad. I was kind of hoping there'd be a little more, because there is on this side. This actually does look like that looks like a gasket. It just looks like a well squished gasket. Let's see, can I take it out? I can. So that would be my only concern with this going back in, is this gasket here. I'll clean it and I'll try reuse it, but that is definitely something I would be slightly concerned about. But let me get a close up here just to show you what we're working with. Okay, so these are the components, and these are all the old components. But basically, this is your diaphragm plate, right? So this is what seals on there. You can see that's nice and clean. So our diaphragm, like, we never got anything in here, and the diaphragm actually itself still feels like it would work. So we'll see. And then this goes onto the back of your diaphragm. This is your spring, and then you have your 4 bolts here for your diaphragm plate. This one here. And then these are the bolts that hold on your actual backing plate into your fuel side. And you can see that's where our problems are arising here. That is absolutely nasty. But honestly, I mean, the rest of it, this should clean up really well in the bath. And what I'll do is I'll go throw it in the bath real quick. And by the way, this is the back side of your fuel plate. So this is the one that goes on here. And you can see this is the ball bearing I was talking about. That ball bearing fits right in there into that channel there, and obviously seals off your fuel flow. It's like a non-return check valve, which is what your diaphragm here looks to be operating off. So, you know, pulls in the ball, lets things do their job, or pushes it out maybe. I'm not entirely sure exactly how this one works, but that's what it looks like. That's what it looks like to me. But overall, I mean, I've seen worse. What I might do is I might take apart this one really quick on camera as well, just so we can see how bad this one is internally and see what we're going to do. See what we're going to, yeah, which one we can, because we can mix and match, right? Obviously it's nice now that I can, if this one looks way better inside, I can just take this piece, clean it and drop it on there, because that's the only issue with this one, is that piece there is damaged. And I do actually have another like aftermarket petcock that came with that Valkyrie, and I can definitely rebuild and have two good petcocks at some point if I want to. I just need to get a second rebuild kit. But honestly, I wish more had come with this. It's a pity that gasket didn't come with it. But I mean, worst case, if this gasket leaks, I can put a little bit of RTV suitable for fuel around here anyway, and still have a good petcock. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go throw this one in the ultrasonic bath real quick, and then we can take this one apart and have a look. But really and truly, these petcocks, that's actually nothing. That's really straightforward. There's not much to this. Anyone can rebuild this. Anyone can rebuild this. By the way, if you like working on old stuff, a ultrasonic bath is a brilliant investment. Could not recommend it more. Oh, this one's riveted on. That is interesting. Okay, so I guess we won't be using this petcock. I wonder why it's riveted on. I'm sure I could figure it out. That might make more sense then. I wonder, is this the actual OEM style and it's not made to be fully cleanable? I'm actually glad I have that other one, because I prefer being able to get in and, you know, fully clean out all those channels. But this one here, you can see this plate is riveted on, so that's not coming off. This is original. It's Keihin Japan, so I'm sure I can still clean this well. It's just a pity because I don't think I can fix that then. And I mean, I don't know. I might look into see, can I re-rivet it or something. I'm sure there's a way to do it, but I wonder why they did it that way instead of making it something you can fix. So again, you can kind of see this is going to be like a sandwich. So what's interesting here as well, there's a little drainage channel down the bottom. So obviously if you're rebuilding it, you'd want to make sure that's facing that way. But otherwise this looks very similar, but it's not the same, which is interesting, because this one has, it's like a one-part diaphragm. I wonder why they're different. That is interesting. But they're basically the same. This one is just the original Cayenne, and it looks like it's, I'm just not going to be able to use that, unfortunately. I'll see, does the piece bolt back onto it, but it looks like I've lost, oh, the threads are stripped and everything. I don't know what happened here, but this one is non-recoverable, I don't think, because I can't get that off and change this plate. I might try to drill these out anyway and have a look, we'll see. But anyway, that's the disassembly. I will do a video on reassembling once everything's clean, if you're interested. But for now, I do want to measure bearings, but I can't because actually my calipers needs a battery. So maybe that's it for today. But that's it, disassembled. Just to show you real quick, let me get my phone. So basically though, just to show you, obviously if we could take off this backing plate, it's the same as the other one, but we can't. So here, if you were rebuilding your stock one, this diaphragm here, which is, as you can see, dirty, but I can clean that. This is probably reusable. That sits in here like this, right? This diaphragm piece will pull up through your sandwich plate. This sandwich plate would then sit on here like this, right? And then your top plate obviously goes onto the top so that you can hook up your vacuum. And that's pretty much it. And then, oh yeah, sorry, this plastic piece here sits on to here to protect your diaphragm and just feeds through. So essentially the exact same as the other one we took apart. Slight differences. Which one's better, I don't know. If you know, let me know. And you can buy these petcocks completely new and assembled, by the way, if you don't want to go to the hassle of trying to strip these and make a good one out of multiple. You don't have to. You can get ready to go assemblies. So yeah, hopefully this was interesting. just in case someone doesn't watch the full rebuild video, the plastic piece actually sits on like that, and then the spring sits on like that, and then your top piece will sit down onto it like that. So the spring, this plastic piece is to protect the diaphragm from the spring, right? So it goes diaphragm, plastic with the groove facing up, spring. All right, just in case there was any confusion. If you've watched, thank you very much for watching. Please don't forget to let me know what videos you want to see made on the Valkyrie, because when I say this weekend, I just made this video Thursday night. Friday this video is coming out, and yeah, then I'm planning on making a lot of progress on the Valkyrie this weekend. So I will make a couple of videos, but if anyone's specifically interested in things, please do let me know. Otherwise, if I'm just trying to get things done, I might skip over it, and you might be disappointed. We don't want that. So yeah, anyway, hopefully this was interesting. Like I said, the all balls kit for the Petcock rebuild is 60-1301. A little dashy, but I don't know, can you read that? Anyway, yeah, there you go. You can read it now. And that's it. There's not much to it. I would also always recommend buying some fuel line. I'm not going to reuse this because it does go. This one's not too bad, but as you can see, this one was contorted to inside. I don't know. I'm not. I get it, but I also don't get it. There's other ways to do that, and I'll be doing it my way. But yeah, that's it. That's all there is to it. It's not that complicated. You can definitely do it. Honestly, anyone can do that. And just just make sure that when you're putting everything back together. I forgot to mention actually when I was doing it. Your spring, by the way, sits between your diaphragm here and that plastic plate. That's why there's the flat side and the grooved side. Spring fits into the groove and pushes down. Yeah, anyway, you get it. You get it. You probably saw it in the video when I was taking it apart. Any questions? Leave them in the comments and let me know what you want to see and what you don't want to see. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. A special thank you as always to my patrons who are being very patient while I have life things going on and not many early access videos. I do apologize. I'm working on it. I'm doing my best. And yeah, thank you again. Until next time, adios. Outro crew. Should I just buy a brand new Petcock? Let me know. Would you go to all this trouble, or would you just buy a brand new one? I'm interested. Let me know, Outro crew. Thanks, Outro crew. You're the best. Other than the patrons, they're also the best. But you're also the best. Everyone's the best. Goodbye, Outro crew.